Okay, today is June 5th, 2026, and today I wanted to talk about why always being real isn't necessarily a good thing. So, I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos, no, not YouTube videos, Reels. I saw one the other day, had over 1 million likes, and it was talking about how the realest person in the room is always the quietest one, and they're gonna clash with the most social one because they're fake and they're, I don't know, manipulative. But that's not really the point. But that just had me thinking about this because I was looking at the comments and people were being like, nobody's real these days, or anyone who's real, just nobody likes someone who's always real. And they will say it in a way that's being real makes you better, almost. Now, I know a lot of people who I would consider people who are very real. And this isn't a bash against anyone. I really respect those people. I know the people I can go to when I need an honest opinion on something that I know some people might sugarcoat for me. So, I'm not saying being real is necessarily a bad thing, but there is a problem with always being real. And one of the first points I kind of want to bring up is a lot of people will use being real as an excuse to be an asshole. Because they're always going to tell the blunt truth no matter what, or exactly what they think. And I guess they're being real, they're being honest with you, but that's not necessarily a good thing though, you know? I feel like being real, someone who is real with you will tell you the truth, but they're gonna choose a time when you're gonna be emotionally receptive to it, and they're gonna choose a time when they know that they can actually help you. Because if you're always real and you're oh, well, they need to hear this, and I'm just being honest with them, I'm just being a good friend, no, because if you really wanted this person to make a change or really hear what you say and process it, you have to choose a good time to say it. And maybe you do blow smoke up their ass for a certain interaction, just not honest for a day because it's not a good time for them. You know, maybe they're in a bad mood and they're not gonna be receptive to what you say. I mean, obviously I would say there's some, exceptions to that. If it's something really bad and it's this person, they might be in a bad mood, but that is just unacceptable, It's probably hurting someone else at that point. At that point, I'm alright, it's okay to not think about when this person's gonna be emotionally receptive, because it's a necessary, very quick, it just needs to happen. And so yeah, being real is a good thing, but being real all the time isn't, because you have to factor in, there's a lot of nuance. You have to factor in the way other people are feeling, because you can be real, I'm trying not to rant about this or go off to a not necessary tangent. But yes, being real isn't always a good thing. And I also want to talk about how people say that being fake is a bad thing. And yes, being fake when you're constantly lying to somebody for your own gain and to their detriment is a bad thing, and I don't think there's really any argument there. But I think being fake shouldn't always be frowned upon, because there's some things that are honest ways that you feel that doesn't really have a purpose of telling the other person. because some of these things are things that all it will do is make them feel worse about it or make them feel terrible and not solve any issues. Like, there are some things that you could just talk through. You know, it's like maybe it's a behavioral thing that both of you need to work on. But if it's something that it's just like someone is a way that you don't like, and it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it's just you don't prefer it and you really dislike that. And if you're like, oh, I just don't like the way you are, I don't like the way you do these things, it's kind of like, do you really? I mean, maybe some of those things are necessary, but it's really up to, you and your situation. But let's say there's someone that's really aggravating you, and you think that bringing it up to them is just going to piss them off. I feel like it's okay to talk behind someone's back and vent your problems to someone else, because it's not like you're talking shit behind their back. It's just that you are venting your frustrations about them to someone else without causing a scene with them. And that is just beneficial for everyone in the party. So you don't always need to be real. Like, being real is good, but just use your own judgment, use some emotional intelligence. Like, if you know someone's not going to take something well, wait to a situation where they will take it well. Don't just say it just for the sake of being real and honest. That's just being inconsiderate and being an asshole. And also, it's okay to be fake sometimes, as long as it isn't to the detriment of the person you're being fake to, if that makes sense. But just use your own judgment. Yeah, that's it. This was a little longer one because I had a lot to say. So, yeah.